So nowadays, it seems like a lot of rappers and producers are utterly heartbroken. They just got out of a relationship and they're wondering what to do about it. I mean, you gotta do something. If you don't do anything about it, how is it gonna get better? Let's talk about it. By the way, sometimes I wonder when people watch these videos what they're trying to get out of it. The average video watch time before the person's like, I don't want to watch this shit anymore is apparently 1 minute and 16 seconds. So let me know where you guys are at. What's on your mind? What got you to watch this video? What kind of problem are you looking to solve, if any? Pause the video and let me know in the comments below if you have to. I will for sure read the comments. If you look at the comment sections of my videos, I at least read all of them. But if I don't respond to it, maybe many other people will have ideas and or suggestions to help you out too. Also, if you're a teenager especially, if you feel like shit and you gotta watch this video again, just watch it again and just remind yourself of some of these things. When you hear things that help you out over and over again, they tend to stick to your mind and you take actions that you won't regret, but stop you from making stupid decisions that you will. Am I wrong? If you guys haven't checked out my video on sex transmutation, I highly recommend watching that as well. I'll drop a link in the description. But when you have no idea what to do with a broken heart, for instance, you could easily write about it. However, you could also learn more about the shit that goes into the writing, and not scientifically, but more spiritually speaking, if that makes sense. And not the boring type of spiritual. Let me read you a very uplifting, helpful excerpt from my favorite book of all time, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you just miss someone and this loss of love is fucking ripping out your soul, no matter the reason or background of the situation that caused it, I can absolutely promise you, paying attention to and understanding what I'm about to read will seriously help you make it through this.
If you believe yourself unfortunate because you have loved and lost, perish the thought. One who has loved truly can never lose entirely. Love is whimsical and temperamental. Its nature is ephemeral and transitory.
If you don't understand all of those words, that's okay. Maybe someday both of us will. I have listened to the audiobook at least 30 times now, and I still don't know what ephemeral and transitory mean.
It comes when it pleases and goes away without warning. Accept it and enjoy it while it remains, but spend no time worrying about its departure. Worry will never bring it back.
Have you tried list writing before? Writing lists in pretty much any situation can help. Just get creative with it. Before I read on, here is my list of things to write a list of things about. There are 5 of them. Remember, if you don't apply the information in this video, this free video, when you go to sleep tonight, you might be in more pain than when you woke up this morning because you're not actively doing something constructive about what's happening to you that's causing the pain in the first place. If you were with that person right now, what things wouldn't you like about it? Like, let's be honest, there has to be some things. Maybe her cooking kind of sucked, her dog was too loud, it shat all over the place all the time, her friends openly disliked your music. Things that you are happy to not experience anymore. Even if you're like, yeah, but it's not worth those things, Sam. You don't fucking get it. You're right. I don't. And the bigger things it's worth are a combination of smaller things, are they not? But isn't this big list I just proposed a combination of smaller things? You never know unless you open yourself up to it. What did you do right in the relationship that you can do right in relationships in the future? It's worth noting, by the way, the difference between what you did right and what you did wrong. What you did right for one girl may totally be wrong for another. And I know that to take relationship advice from me is probably like taking advice from Mark Zuckerberg on how to bake wedding cakes, but this isn't really relationship advice if you think about it. It's more like self-advice, I guess. In fact, just to remind myself of things like this, I'm probably gonna rewatch this video multiple times in the future so I don't forget where I'm coming from and how I look at these things when I'm least in my feelings. Sometimes when you feel like shit, you gotta hear a perspective that's so far from yours that it jolts you into a position of taking the right action as a result. What did you do wrong in the relationship that you can avoid doing in relationships in the future? Isn't everyone responsible for something? Have you not made mistakes that you can profit from? And in ways that have nothing to do, by the way, with money? If you find it hard to write this list, or any of these lists at first, that's okay. I have found, at least through my own experience, that some of the worst, most embarrassing things are the hardest ones to admit to yourself, let alone others. But like a mentor of mine says, sometimes you won't want to break through it because you know that you're gonna hit a next level and it scares you to grow. And when you push through that, the fulfillment that you're gonna see on the other side of it
is gonna blow your fucking mind.
What did she do wrong that you can maybe look out for in other girls? Okay, this may sound totally insane. In fact, it might not even make total sense because it can totally transform the way you look at your next relationship for the better. Not just the better, but the better. Your feelings and your DNA are two different things that will disagree with each other at some points, and I feel like it's important to know what those points are and what happens that causes them. Because when it comes to your DNA and your feelings, one of them is gonna see what this next girl did that was wrong and start freaking out, and the other one is gonna be like,
Nah, bro, she's doing things right because that's what happened in the last relationship. And we gotta repeat that whole thing so he can bounce back to where it was before.
and the first one's gonna be like, why the fuck would he want to bounce back? Did you see what happened to him? And the second one's gonna be like,
I mean, yeah, it put him in another relationship. What's wrong with that?
and they're just gonna argue and argue until you tell them to shut the fuck up before they even get the chance to. How do you do that? The instructions have been listed. What did you like about her that you should look for in other girls?
With caution that it might cause you to look for what you didn't like in other girls about her in said girls.
This is one I've personally kind of fucked up on. But I found that I was making a mistake and kind of, corrected it. There are good memories that are just good ones, but there are good memories that just thinking of them will take you on this road of bad memories, and you'll start saying and doing things you don't mean to. That will mess with the next relationship you're in. Don't make the next girl pay for the mistakes you're creating as a result of not cleaning the cobwebs you made with your last one. If you look at some physical type, this is just physical. If you want to branch out, be my guest in these lists. Write one for physical things, write one for things she did that other girls didn't, etc. But physically, okay, for me, I'm crazy about short girls. Or a girl with a skin color that's whiter than my personality. Trust me, I was also in disbelief to find out that they do in fact exist. Or a girl with blue eyes. Oh my gosh. Or a girl with a soft, sort of higher pitched voice. I can't imagine a short girl with a gruff, lower pitched voice. But in my case, it really kind of helped to break what I understood myself liking about those things by experimenting. If that's the type of girl I like, remember, safe is dangerous. So do the opposite. Mess around with a tall girl, or a black girl, or a Mexican girl. I don't mean to be racist or be like, well, I like this more than this. I'm talking about you. What do you like? The point here is to open yourself to new things, because this one girl is just one set of things, one beautiful assortment of different things you happen to stumble upon that left an imprint on your mind that right now you might be looking at like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this shit? The instructions have just been listed.
Dismiss also the thought that love never comes but once. Love may come and go, times without number, but there are no two love experiences which affect one in just the same way. There may be, and there usually is, one love experience which leaves a deeper imprint on the heart than all the others. But all love experiences are beneficial except to the person who becomes resentful and cynical when love makes its departure.
Side effects of heartbrokenness include short-sightedness and looking at short-term problems as if they are actually long-term. There are times when I've had to get over more than one girl at a time. Imagine that! Maybe you've been through worse. But dude, if you can get through this shit, what can't you get through? I heard once that there's a new love born for everyone that's died. I believe it. Sometimes you just gotta put all of that into yourself. Future took his divorce with Sierra, and put all that into himself. He dropped so much shit that year. He made so much money, he probably fucked a lot of girls in the process too. What you do is up to you. But it can't be done if you're going in the wrong direction, if you're focusing on yourself. You never know, she might come back. But you can't worry about it, because that itself will stop the possibility of it happening. Are all love experiences really not beneficial? What are you gaining by feeling the way you do? I want to close this by talking about the transmutation part. Even in the worst case scenario, let's say you are cynical or depressed about the departure of this love. Let's say you're extremely bitter about it. Let's say you're so mad or upset or bothered about what she did or you did or whatever. Even if that's the case, you can still commit to yourself and improving yourself. Be selfish. If you just take the energy you're putting into the pain you're in right now and switch it from thoughts of, I don't know what to do, to thoughts of, well, a more selfish nature. Even if you think it's a healthy one, but maybe in the future, you're like, I don't know, man, that was a little fucked up. I can guarantee that eventually your bitterness will subside, it will dissipate, and turn into bliss and self-awareness and stabilization in the process. It may not happen immediately, it may suck at first, honestly. But like I say in my East Side remix, which I'll link in the description, it's all about the progress, not perfection. I mean, I know perfection has its merits, but merits ain't enough to repair all the damages. Something else that helps, other things that help. I mean, if you're not a rapper, or even if you're a fucking girl and you're watching this, I recommend these in case you're not doing them already. I think if everyone did these, yes, literally everyone, ever, the world would be a better place. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I believe it. Start eating healthier, start sleeping better, start reading more, or spend more time listening to audiobooks, or both. Start working out, even like 10 push-ups a day. It's better than nothing. At least get that little adrenaline spike going. Stop, master. masturbating. A lot of these I will eventually have many videos on. Right now, the only one I have a video on is about not masturbating. It's similar to this one, very similar actually. Again, there will be a link in the description because it's also very different in a lot of ways. Can you have lost entirely if you have loved truly? Is love worth worrying about? Have you tried writing any of these lists before, or similar ones? Are you in more pain right now than you were when you woke up this morning? What's the difference between what you did right and what you did wrong? Does love really come more than once? Is loss of love really that bad? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, let me know if you have any ideas you want me to talk about in future videos, and I'll give you a shout out if and when I use them. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description to all my social media. Also at the bottom of the description there are links to my new production kits where you can find all the hardware and software that I use to make music and these videos. If you buy any, I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos for you guys. I made all the beats in this video. If you want to use them, you can find links to each one in the description that I use from first to last, or at samuel.earth/beats. Make sure to leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on that little bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.